motorcycle is whatever you want to make it. Turn it on, you can give yourself a real thrill.
What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the RacerRed channel. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on here. On the way down to Fiddler Flat, we noticed this hill right here was just incredibly steep, so we decided to climb it on the way back and just to see if we could do it. We ended up turning around and going around it. This climb really taught me about how this bike can hook up with this particular rear tire. I'm using the IRC M5B with the Moose on the rear, and you'll see on some of these rock faces I clutch it to launch and it just hooks right up, but right here I'll hit a rock, boom, right there, and it completely messes up my momentum, but it still continues to help me launch through all these little sections going up the hill, and this is way steeper than it appears on the video. But I was pretty impressed with this bike and with the tire combo. I mean, it was just really hooking up. In fact, that's really what threw me off during this whole climb, because I expected to be spinning and it just kept hooking up. So if I would have known it was going to do that, I probably would have gone up with a lot more ease than I went up. Granted, the Husky TE250 would have done a better job going up this, but this 450 is really a secondary mountain goat if I need it to be. It's definitely a good bike. It's geared up a little bit, has one tooth higher on the countershaft, so first gear really doesn't crawl like you would want a trail bike to.
Beautiful up here. The only reason I made it up that is because I chose really easy lines. I got all kinds of jacked up. That should have gone way smoother. Whew, that was tiring. I'll let you go first. I'll probably slow you up on that hill.
No worries, I can do that. Yeah, come on. So here we just got done seeing all of those elk, and man, it was crazy to see that number of elk, and really the amount of damage to the soil that those elk were doing was pretty eye-opening. You had 200 head of elk that were just making a gigantic single track wherever they roamed, and I caught a lot of flack for my last video being out here a little bit early. And to that I say, I mean, the soil is perfect. I didn't realize it wasn't open yet. There were no signs out there or anything saying it wasn't open. But regardless, we're not hurting anything by going out there. And you really should have the ability to explore the outdoors. And that ability should not be taken away from you. That's just asinine. And if you believe it should be taken away from you, we are not the same. It's just that simple. These herd of elk and the deer and the antelope are not affected by us, and their movement is not affected by us. It's a natural thing to have people out there among the animals, and I think it's a lot better for you to be among the wildlife. And it doesn't matter whether you're on a dirt bike, four-wheeler, or on foot, they view you pretty much the same.
That was a rough climb, dude.
And their behavior is pretty much the same. So we are absolutely an essential part of the environment out here, and we should definitely be out here as much as possible. And as you can see in a lot of these videos, the elk create their own single track wherever they go, and it's just amazing to see that. The difference is, you know, we are confined to one single track. Now, if that wasn't the case, there would be no single track and it would return to nature, and we would all just be roaming the hills on our dirt bikes with no evidence that we were ever there. And but because we are forced to go on one single trail, there's, you know, obviously no vegetation grows on it. You know, I think a lot of people kind of view this whole area, and it is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of people view the outdoors as a very put together thing that should not be disturbed. And in reality, I mean, you look around, there's lava rock from super volcanoes. The tectonic plates have shifted. The mountains that were formed, the earth just destroys itself. And we ride through the chaos and make no more of a track than any animal out there. And yet, a lot of people are so brainwashed that they believe that we are, you know, these destructive forces out there. And unfortunately, governments can really capitalize on that thought. So they can really maintain and retain a lot of power because people have bought into this notion that, you know, people aren't valuable and they aren't a valuable piece of the environment. And that's really a shame. So governments can really capitalize on this because, you know, consider this. How much liberty would you demand if the government brainwashed you to think that you're a parasite on this earth? I'll leave you with that beautiful thought. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace.